Our cameraman's back. We've got a cameraman, the shorty's back. Back to film. Makes it easier for me, I've had it on the tripod. Not always the easiest solution. So just stripping down bonnets off. I think we left you on part 3. Welcome to part 4. We welcome you aboard part 4. If you like part 3, bit of fun on that one. So we left off stripping the insides, and I think I got the bonnet off last time. The boot lid's now off to reveal a plethora of goodies, which we'll show you later on. I'm just starting to get the clip out the front. I've got the back jig spinner in at the back. So we're going to get this clip out. Started undoing the roll bar brackets. Come on in, Sean, show you guys. All these bolts have been off before, they're all too easy. And the whole thing's been in bits. It's just been down to a bare shell. And I think it's even been rolled and undersealed underneath. Definitely not, you know, just left standing as it is. Everything's been off and back on again. So the car's had some kind of rebuild in its life. Everything's just too easy to come off. Nothing's struggling. Not that that necessarily would mean it's been rebuilt, but it does seem too good to be true that everything I'm doing is just flying off. The anti-roll bar brackets now, they look in good order, so no rat on those. They can be a rusty item. I've seen a few bad ones of those. So spinning these out, these 13s. I've answered my question about the inner wing. It is a pre-facelift inner wing, but on the turnover. It's an early shell because of those sun visor centre posts, single post sun visors, and it has got the wiring loom in the middle of the roof, so it looks like the vinyl roof's covered over the interior light. That's what I've worked out. Can't, because the loom's in position for the centre light, so it's another question solved. And this is a pre-facelift clip, and there's at the early brake hose connector and the mount bracket for that. So we've got early stuff. We'll be putting these bolts in the bag. A little bit of tension on the anti-roll bar. There she goes. Anti-roll bar off. So we're looking at those there. I think it's just 4 bolts and the whole clip drops, if we remember rightly, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift it off and wheel it away. So I'll get a grill off and the lights. This should just what's our grill like? Well, it's not too bad. Not heavily pitted, and oh no, that's all right. Okay, so we've got one bit there where it's gone, but not bad. Not bad. We'll hang that up. I think that can live somewhere around. We'll find a place to hang the grill. A bit of inspiration, so we know we're on a GXR. Sean will put a fixing on that, and our grill can live there. Headlight mounting bowls. Let's check them out. They're bad boys for rotting. I don't know what these look like. Pop one of these out and have a seat. Sean's going to come down eye level with us now, if he can get in. So just continuation of strip down. So these have been, I'm hoping these aren't Capri ones. I'm hoping these are right. I don't think they are. One's missing, so only one more for this. Let's have a look at these bowls, see how bad they are. These are a pain to get hold of. No, it's okay. Oh, a bit of damage there. Right, well, after a little repair piece in there, then hammer the hole into it, but the rest of it's not shot through, so it's just lost it on its corner, but repairable totally. So there's a small weld repair, and we'll grind that in, we'll make that invisible. Is that picking up, Sean?
Yeah.
So we've got that. Let's have a look at the other one. The wings will be coming off in a minute, so we can show you the condition underneath the inner wings. Odd screws, these aren't the right screws for these putting all these back to the correct screw heads. I know that sounds OCD, but I just like to do it that way. Let's have a look. Now I know this is not a Capri one because it's got the cut out there for the grommet. Not bad. Okay, they're both usable pieces. We'll get them bubble wrapped and stored. We don't need them yet. So that leaves us with some dodgy repairs here. It's the whole front end damage. You can see how they fixed it. This will all have to be cleaned and put back. You can see where it's been hit. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to need some work. Front end is what's going to take the time on this. Cleaning up all this repair work, it's just not acceptable for me. It would be fine for in the day, but now we expect a bit more, so we're going to have to grind that back. We're going to have to put spot welds back in it. Where to put the slam pan, the upper valance, there's weld gun on the top. They'll have to be ground off level. And then we'll replug. Or got the spot welder might get in there, but I'm not sure about the paint affecting the spot weld. Even if I ground off the face and the back, I don't know if it'll go through. It might do. We'll have a see. So that's a long way off yet. Bumper off next. Let's do it. Okay, you can cut there short. Right, just getting the bumper irons off because, as you know, we're doing a powder coat trip, so these would be nicely done in black powder coat. Sean goes for his bumper irons. I'll take that. Thank you. Into the powder coating box we go. Wiper motor there. That was in the boot. 3 bolts off and the middle bolt, and then we've got that outer casing for the wiper motor. There's also the bulkhead closing panels in there too for powder coating, and a jack to go in blue. That was in the boot. There's our other bumper iron, so we're getting a nice collection of powder coating stuff going on. What do we want to do now? There's the bumper off, so let's do a wing. Let's do a wing. We need to get this good chrome arch trim off as well. We'll drill them rivets. Let's get the wing off. 10s, Sean, I think, or 8s, possibly 8s. Wing off next. Wing off next. Easy enough job when there's only 2 holding the entire wing on. Lift it off, Sean. Used to be a weight lifter, didn't you? Yeah, tail end down first, watching that arch trim. Okay. There ain't no way that's the original colour. No chance.
Now, you know when you get the spare part that comes black, doesn't it?
It's not the original colour, no way. So how many colours has this been? Now that's green overspray, because it's gold overspray on the other side. So I don't know, there's that much bleeding. It's like Jonah's Technicolor Dream Coat, this. Right, okay, so just looking underneath, looking for any signs of rust around the front. It's no, looks like that bush is gone, that's for sure. Okay, it's that thick in underseal. Oh my god, look at the thickness of the underseal. Wow. Oh my god, this is going to take some getting off, Sean, this. I mean, good, that's what saved it, you know. But how are we doing on our A panel? Oh man, that's solid. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my god, it goes all the way down, it's not even touched it. Oh my god, that is clean. Wow. Wow, that is solid. I wonder they saved this to one side. So good reports there. The paint job's always going to be a mystery to me. There's even brown up here. I mean, I know some of it had to be brown for the dash, but I can't tell. Right, let's get on.
This side?
Yeah, wing off. Let's get this thing stripped. Come on, Jim, let's strip it. We know little Newt's watching. He gets his hobnobs in his brew. Could be a Saturday night that you're watching, we don't know, it depends when I upload the film. We hope you're having a good time anyway. Wobble wobble. If only it was that easy. It looks like one of them custom colours. It can't be. It's just too good. Oh, look at them. They're normally completely gone. There's nothing. Oh my god, look at that jacking point. Oh, exciting. It's solid, solid, solid. The cobwebs under it there. Plenty of work to do to get it really, really clean, but there's no rust. That can't be evergreen, surely not. It's mint. That's a different colour. That's evergreen. That's some kind of custom colour. It's too metallically. Look at all the flecks. No way. That's factory colour. That. How many colours has this thing been? Right. So next job. We've got the wings off. Why don't we get the clip off and just wheel it out from the front? Let's go for that. Clip off now. Clip out now. We've disconnected the brake feed. So we've disconnected the roll bar bracket, and now Sean's got a 19 on there, and I'm going in the back to lock on. If I can, I might need to socket this side. Not sure. Actually, I can get the claw end in. Go on, go for that. Just get the claw end in on that because it's not that bad.
You are?
Yeah, I'm on. Just keep going. I'm fine here. Your clip bolts all completely off, ready to raise. Off the clip, that's your front spinner on. That just bolts in where the bumper brackets were, there and there. So that's it. It's ready to go. We're going to lift the front end off and put it onto the spit on an angle. And you're going to wonder how we do this, but just point it at an angle. Big Sean's just lifted it up. Well played. See, that's what he's built for. What do you reckon, Sean? Was that heavy for you or what? We're off. Big Sean lifted it straight onto the dresser. One-handed, just with his one hand. Don't call him Blue Toe for nothing. End up, axle coming off now, so we're going for the trailing arm bolts. 19 on, and I believe, hit me with a 24, Sean. Got my wonderful assistant Sean there. I'm passing the spanners down. We're just playing spanner lottery. 24 it is, so let me just get on and get you this trailing arm bolt out. Pause and we'll get that out. Got a bit of Nirvana to see us through. Just a bit of air guitar on the floor. You know, Sean, don't bleed on it that much. Rick's going crazy down there. Just on a commercial break, hold on. No, Nirvana's too good to work, it's too good. Right, that'll do, pause that. Do 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 do. These have got to be zinc plated, these bolts. We like it when bolts are rusty. As you are. Right, I'll need. Sean will now stop filming. We'll tap the bolt out. Yeah, we're gonna have to jack the chassis up now because these will be under tension. $24mm. There's a lot of underseal on the bolt heads. Right, don't need to film this bit. Right, your clip is dropped. That's easy enough. You've only got those 4 bolts. Now we're onto the axle. Wheel off. On the axle stands now, and then I've got a jack under the back diff just to support it while I start to drop the shock absorbers, and then the swinging arm bolts. We're getting ready to take those off, and then we'll lower the axle down, wheel off on the other side, the other shock absorber bolt off, and then 2 more radius arms there. We'll get them out, 19s I think, some 22s, and we'll cut back when we've got the axle lowered. So shock absorber now, and then the rest of the trailing arm bolts, brake cable to disconnect, handbrake cable to disconnect. I might cut that because I'm not using the handbrake cable again, put a new one on it. We'll have a look at those cables. I'll undo the brake tube pipe, and then the axle's ready to come down, and then we're going to be lifting onto the rotary and we can spin the car. So we're very close to getting the car spun round now, so bear with us and let's see this thing spin. See you in a sec when the axle's dropped down. Right, here's a good way to get your rear trailing arm off if you're stuck for space. Just have your wheel off here, pull your shock absorber off with those 19s, pull that back out of the way, lock a 19 behind the back of the bolt there, and then you can get your ratchet spanner on the front and your hands can get in through the wheel arch quite easy, and just undo that as long as it's not mega tight. That was alright, that one. These bolts are all good, nothing's rusted up, so I'm an advantage there. But yeah, just working, let's see where I am, just hands through here, and then 19 on top, spanner locking it at the back, and then a ratchet at the front. I'll do the same on the other side now. You can see how I've got the jack under the axle to take the tension off it. Kind of like just adjust it till you feel it's just in the midway on those struts, those arms, those radius arms. Okay, so that's off there now. Jack's tensioning it up. Shock absorbers there, poked out of the way so I could get my hands through there. 19 spanner and a 19 ratchet. Same on the other side. I'll go and get that and its brake pipe off then. I've already got this front trailing arm loose and ready to knock through, which I'd be careful, and when you knock that through, the axle's going to try and twist and fall off. So we're going to block the front of the axle up here where my toes are, just so it doesn't tilt forward. We'll jam a block of wood under there and then we're ready. Sorry, moving the camera. So that's your upper top bolt. It's ready to come off, that one. Right, I'm just doing the brake pipe. Got some mole grips, locking pliers at the back of the nut of that flexi pipe that goes to the axle. Your brake flexi pipe. 17mm spanner on this side to loosen the locking nut. Just grip the pipe at the back there, stops twisting the bracket. Don't try and undo it on the bracket, you'll twist the bracket on the axle. So grip it with your mole grips at that side, get a good grip. 17 on, and then just go for it. Hopefully it won't be seized for you. If seized, maybe cut off and bring it off with the axle, chop the pipe, get a new one. But I thought I'd just do that anyway. Could have just cut it, but I'll just undo it properly. Okay, so I'm going to undo that now and get the flexi hose off. Wow, have you heard this garbage? Bugger off. It's hard to find a decent radio station, I'm telling you. It really is. Really, really difficult. Everything's got adverts. Oh, it's just got this stuff on it. Unbelievable. Hey up. Wow. Oh yeah. Right handbrake cable. Just took it off. There, put the pin back, put the little pin back. So handbrake cable saddle off. And then we have a bolt here. That's a 17, off that comes. push back, slot out. Get your washers off there, push back, slot out. Slot out on there. Handbrake cable is free, although it's over the exhaust, but it is free. So the exhaust is in the way of the handbrake cable at the moment, but it's not keeping the handbrake, so probably just cut it. Right, ready to take the axle off now. I've got some blocks ready to chock it up at the front, and we're going to knock off these bolts which are ready to go. And that's all that's holding it on. The axle should fall down and we're away. We can drag it out sideways. Let's get you the right way up. Okay, so we're ready to drop the axle. We'll try Radio 2. Blooming bat adverts on Planet Rock now, but oh, I can't stand the adverts, guys. Right, I'm just going to tap this out, screwdriver, good screwdriver with a metal head on it. So we'll send that bolt away. Can't do it while I film, I'm afraid, but you'll just see the bolt fly out. This one just shot out, no problem. Look how clean that is. That come out the other side. So let's hit that. We'll hit that now. So last bolt out on the axle, then we're going to see if it lowers down, and hopefully I can pull it out of the way. Right, lowered down. Let's drop down. Went with a little bit of a bang, but we're okay. Ready to withdraw that now. If I can get that handbrake cable off the exhaust, that's going to be the tricky part. I might just cut it now. So I'm pulling the axle out. Okay, dropped it onto a piece of plywood and then just slid it out. Across the floor she goes. So I'll take that out of the workshop now. That goes away for rebuild. So axle off now, dragging it out of the workshop, away for rebuild. And it looks a good axle. Looks like a 2 litre one to me. I'll be checking the ratio on it. Should be 375 or 344. No, sorry, 375 or 379. Oh God, I don't know. I'll turn the shaft and count the rotations and we'll see what it is. So dragging the axle out. Right, let's get this out of there. I'm nearly away from the car. And we're away from the car. Let me get a better grip. But you can see there, we're out. And it is the axle that we want. It looks nice and original too. All the bits are with it. Early spring fixing, so we know it's an early axle. Okay, so away we go with that now. That should do it. Look at that, it's just no problem. Just like no problem. Not even got the heat up there yet. That's like shaving, really. Greek shave, Turkish shave. Al-Kebab shaving shop. It's just like having a shave with a really good razor. Oh, let's have a shave. We're cleaning up nice. Let's have a look up here. Better so go easy. Oh! yeah. Come on, Gary, it's easy, mate. Come on, Noggy, it's easy. So that. Very relaxing to do this all night. I thought I'd hate this job. I like the job. One for Gary there. One for Noggy there. One for little Newt. One for Australia. One for Ireland. Right, well we are rolled. We're over on the rotary, no problem, just flip straight up, plenty of clearance on the lights there, and we've already started to strip off the underseal. It's coming off pretty easy actually. I've got the heat gun on, so just a hot air gun and a scraper is all we're using for the underseal. There we go, a hot air and a scraper. I'm just bringing it along and it's just slicing it off. So it's, in my case, I'm lucky this underseal is pretty workable and it's interested in coming off, so a little bit tricky around your little edges there, but revealing a good chassis rail. So far so good on the chassis rail, and good in a sill floor edge, good on that. It started to try and have a go. If you can see that rust colour, that's all under the underseal, so that's why we get it off, but we're solid along there, so we can just treat that. I'm going to get some really good treatment stuff to hold that at bay, and then we're going to seam seal that nicely. I might put a few more welds along the bottom of here and just inspect the sill welds, just make sure that everything's intact there. So we've got up as far as halfway down the car on the lower section, so just scraping off, and then we'll wire wheel this, and then some rags with some terps and bring it down, get it up shiny. Then we'll be priming underneath once we've done the repairs at the front, because obviously some repair work to do at the front, some neatening up of the work from the accident crash. So there's some rough stuff going on here, so we want to be improving that. So we're going to get that a little bit neater, and again we can see what's happened now with the facelift. What they've done is they've put a facelift inner wing, and see they've just adjusted that with a packer piece or an infill so that the bush void fits. So we'll have to fix that. Underneath on the scuttle is good. See how that's not rotten. So nice and solid there. No big troublesome areas really looking around. It's looking good. So that's where we're up to with this. So spun round, we're going to have the tripod on time lapse, and Sean and myself will be scraping the rest of the underseal off. So all you're going to get in a minute is just a time-lapse video, because we've got to do it. It's got to come off. There's no way around it. I can't really do any other jobs till that's completely stripped under there. So that's what I want to get that shiny. So we've got under the inner wings as well to do. Looks quite meaty under there. This could be tricky. Underneath the shell's not so bad, but this might be baked on, but we'll see. But not too bad so far. I've been on that about two and a half hours, and I've got sort of quarter of the floor pan done, maybe half the floor pan. Not quite, third, let's say, yeah. So just set a tripod up, time lapse it, and away we go. Just watch us scraping away. We'll do all the labour, you just watch. Okay, let's go, let's get that off. Let's see how clean it comes up, and we'll rag it down. See you in a sec. That's underseal removal. See you in a sec. Part 4. just carrying on with the shot blasting. A little handheld shot blaster, just bringing the surface rust off, and you can see there now that's the repair for the floor bung. These ones shot blasted back, and we're clean there. We're clean there. This one ready for the primer to go on. You can see how the shot blaster goes in that way, as your wire wheel goes across, so you don't get into all the pits. So a little handheld trigger shot blaster with some grip medium in it was enabled me to get that way in, which lifts the rust out. So clean on that one, clean on that one. So all floor bungs are all okay. Still a little bit of underseal on that one. So I'm just looking for any areas where I saw surface corrosion. There was some there. These fuel mount pipe clip holes, but they're okay. The edge of the chassis, but that's good. So the floor edge, that's good. And now I'm heading towards the back with the paint scraper. Continuing with the paint scraper. Just taken off that trailing arm there, and I'm just taking off this trailing arm now. I've just loosened that up, ready to come off. There's a bit of grip medium, I'm just going to blow it back. It just wants vacuuming and blowing back. That's from when I was blasting earlier. So just let's take that one out. See how clean these bolts are when they're coming out. So all the bolts have come off really nice. They're all going to get re-galvanized anyway. So this arm out, and now I can get my paint scraper in a bit better. We're going to get all this cleaned up. Shock absorber to take off, 17mm, get a socket in there. Let's get that shock off. Then we'll start getting into these tricky areas. You can see how clean that is. We can see now this boot bung's gone, a bit rusty, so we'll put a patch in that one. But we'll learn that as we go up the end. So just been continuing to clean back and inspect the chassis or the floor pan. I'm interested in this area only at the moment, so only from the bulkhead backwards. I'm not interested in the front end just yet, just up to here. I'm particularly interested in the back, hoping that there's been no botching. Doesn't look like it. That looks original to me. So let's carry on with the paint scraper now. Oh, we'll get the shocks on. Friday night now, it's getting late, heading towards 10 o'clock at night. So before I clock off, on the underside cleaning up work. Let's take you through, see where we're up to. So, damage report, guys. Okay, so we've got a pinhole here. You see that there, that bad boy? But we can plate that, no problem. So, gearbox mounts. Okay, good on the two gearbox mounts. Okay, bunghole there. We went around those before, didn't we? So, chassis rail running along, clean. One bunghole to repair there. Sill inner floor to sill edge, totally intact all the way along. After took the rust off it with a little mini handheld shot blaster. Gets a bit messy, you have to keep hoovering up. I put some sheets down. Make sure you wear a mask. I had a mask on for mine. Mask and a full face mask and a breathing mask for you when you're doing your shot blasting. I recommend only small amounts. You start getting really big amounts of shot blasting going on, it gets a bit messy. It really does. It gets all over the place. But it's a handy little tool to use. I mean, ideally you'd be outside, but then you can have a neighbour complaining because the stuff just goes all over the place. So we'll leave it to a professional and get your shell into a blasters. But it's a good technique. Once you've scraped most of the underseal off, the blaster can go in and just clean up the surface pits. So not a bad bit of work on there. Just keep it on going, so we head now towards the chassis forks, and we can now look at the condition of those, and no problems with them, they're all okay. Good chassis forks there, just continuing to clean up. Gets a little bit awkward in these corners, so you just got to keep poking around. We'll bring the handheld blaster in and just finish off any bits that I've missed, and then we'll see if there's any rust patches. Some rust surface here. Shot blaster on that again, and more wire brushing just to get that then Q rust in. I might find something that's more professional than Q rust. I don't know. I've just been doing some research on rust.co.uk, and he's got plenty of products on there, which I'm going to go and look at some products to prep and clean this area up and then get it primed. So we'll be looking. Research is on the go. Just because I'm swamping, as you know, it was electro primed. I'm not going to be doing that with this car. So I've got to find a way of getting really good rust killing properties, and then a nice prime, and then the what do you call it now? I'm forgetting what it's called now. Oh god, not Dinatro, Gravitex. Getting tired, you see. Alright, so then we go to the only, well, not the only, but another area which is a bit worse than the others, and that's this sill corner. This was full of filler. I've knocked it out, and you can see that inner plate. They always go, but I just thought I'd got away with it on this car. Obviously not. So it's had some corrosion here. And we can see inside there what's been going on. There's plenty of junk inside there. So there's a plate that's going to be made. But also, while I've been looking at that, I've realised that the car has actually got half sills on it. They're not the original sills. If you start looking, you can see evidence of the original sill, and you can see where they've put the halves. In fact, it's not even attached. If you look, watch this. You see that moving away. You see. So you've got a cover sill and a half sill. It's going up half step sill, we've called it, and you can see inside where the original sill is. You can see the clean metal, and you see the old sill still on the inside of it. You see, you even see the bracing piece for the original the original Ford sill. You see inside there. So that's the sill situation. And probably a lot of cars out there that's got this done. You never know about it, but. So what we're going to do because of that is the whole sill is coming off. You can see a nice chunk of filler there, look at that botch. Okay, so the whole sill is coming off, and 2 new Ford sills will go on if I can get Ford ones. If not, they'll have to be pattern sills, but there is a good pattern sill out there. It doesn't include the ramp jump at the end, but it'll do. So not going to do it just yet, but once this floor's cleaned up, once we've inspected this tub, we're going to see if there's any more areas, and then I will start on the sills, because it's not a real tricky job. You look back on the early swampy videos and it's one of the first jobs I tackled, and it isn't too bad. It's quite a nice job to do, and at the same time then we can get that repaired. This floor corner, again, they always rot here. It's pretty pitted. I'm going to shot blast that back and we'll see how far it goes. It might be okay. I mean, it's not knocked through, and I've been tapping it as hard as I can with the we're still okay. So we're going to watch that. I mean, it really needs some good cleaning up there to keep that on at bay in the future. We really want to go for some heavy rust killing situation here. I want to be pouring it into the seams and everything. We want to get that locked if we can, so it doesn't go any worse. Okay, so that's that. So a repair piece for that, then a lower wheel tub repair. It's just that triangle shape. As long as there's nothing else going on the tub, we're going to be bringing off all this underseal. It's actually not a bad job. It's not as bad as you think. Once you get into it and you're scraping, and it just starts to roll off the scraper, it starts to go. It's not as bad as you think, and there's no fumes with the heat gun. So the heat gun, as you've been watching on the previous clips there, the heat gun's in and you're just scraping. It's not that bad. Then I've been using terps with some gloves on just to wipe off the excess, and then a wire brush then to get into the little gaps, and then you just keep going. And then the handheld shot blaster, some sheets down, and then just blast in the bits you can't reach and just keep going. Then have a break and come back to it, and don't spend too long on it. You do get a natural time span, and then you need a break from it. It is good if you get a break from it. Okay, going around some good news. That was some bad news. So we've got some good news where you'd expect some real bad damage to be. This has been, I've had the baby shot blaster in here after I'd cleaned the underseal off, and this is the condition of the rear chassis leg. I might not even need the torch there. The condition of the rear chassis leg is completely intact. This looks like it's just been put on. So it's not hit that at all, which is good. And then check this out. The inner valance, inner rear valance, also looks like it's going to be okay. Unless there's any hidden surprises, but I don't think so. And that's not been messed with, which is great. So there's not been any botching going on around there. And I do believe that if I take you up to the corner where all the panels intersect, okay, you can see that is the original finish, where you get the outer, the rear quarter meets the inner panel, inner rear quarter panel meets the outer lower valance. That's the classic Ford intersect shape. So because of that shape, that's how you can tell if there's any cutting and shutting been going on. You can even see the welds there. I believe there might be some filler in this, so we'll have to have a look. I don't know, it's hard to tell, that much paint on it. Don't know, I've looked down with the torch, I can't see anything, so it could be little bits, but it's not bad. Even that side chassis looks like it's going to be coming up good, but we'll know later on with that. So that's great news on the rear quarter inner. Even got the original Ford drain holes there, you can see. It's the original panel. So it looks like it's joining in the tub all right. So we just want to make sure we really do clean everything up as best we can. I keep vacuuming as I go, brushing up, cleaning, having a break, come back into it. But the mini shot blaster does save you a lot of time. It really gets you right into those areas. However, you've got to wear a mask and you've got to be prepared that it's going to make a lot of mess. So just bear that in mind if you do use a handheld shot blasting tool. Okay, and some are better than others. I have actually got the full tank one as well, which is also good, but that's a monster. That just blows you away. If you've not got access to those tools, then you could get your shell down to get blasted. I think that's another option. And if you don't want to dip, of course. So there's different ideas, and I'm learning with this one too, because as I said, I dipped, and most likely I can't see any reason why I would change my mind now. I'm just going to prep this up. So so I won't be dipping the car, but I might shot blast the paint off or soda blast the paint off, because it's got a lot of paint on it, and we're going to have to come up with a technique to get this back to bare metal, because I spoke to the body shop and they want bare metal. They don't want to go over any crap paint, so every body panel has got to be bare metal. Inside the car it's not a problem, we can overpaint that. That's not been touched or messed with, so that won't be a problem to overpaint it for the interior. But for the all visible body panels, to get the same effect we got with Swampy, we've got to be on bare metal so that the guys can work the magic and get it. They've got some very high quality primers that they're going to be using on it. So they've left me to do the underside and repair some of the panels at the front. There's some work to do, we'll talk about in another video. At the front there's some panel work to do, some welds to clean up, some of the old really crappy welds that are on here. I say crappy, they do the job, but it's just these days now with the levels being higher, and it's not the 80s anymore, so that was probably done just to get it on the road, which would have been fine, which is great. Got it on the road and kept it going. But we'll be taking those welds off and we'll be replacing them with the spot weld finish. Sills on both sides to do. I'm going to presume that side's gone. It doesn't look good, and I can see that before when I was having a scrape I saw some filler in that top corner. Wire brushed it back, so both sills to be fully replaced. So it's not a big deal, it's quite good fun, and we'll take you on the journey with that on the video. We'll start from day one with the sill job, and we'll set the tripod up and we'll get you filming on the sill operation. I know it's covered on the Swampy video, but probably been a bit more extensive now. I've had a bit more experience with working the camera. So that's the job for Friday. We're on August 3rd, is it? It's around that time, middle of August. I'm losing track. No air guitar for you just yet, but we have had some requests for the air guitar. That'll be coming up, but unfortunately Planet Rock's been inundated with adverts and I've just not had the chance to find a music I like and then jump in. There just hasn't been anything going on, but we will do that. This video, episode 4, is more technical. Apologies if there's no off-site footage or little trips and journeys. I might, if I do find anything before I've got the footage for episode 4, I'll put it in for you if I can, but a bit more technical this time round. So just wrapping up for now, so you can see what we've been doing. Red oxide paint on there just to stop any flash rusting, and just to highlight the areas that are past, and then we'll keep on working out around towards the back, and then we'll get all the back will be like this, all to that standard, and then we'll flip it back round, brace the car up, get the sills off, and we'll start on a sill job. Once that's done, we'll then flip it back again, and then we'll look at what we're going to do for priming, and then we'll start working our way towards the front. So full on, we'll keep on going for you. We'll see you soon. Episode 4 is not finished, but Friday has, so I'll continue and get some more footage for you next week. Let's see where next week takes us. Over and out for now. I'm going to have a brush up and that's it. Over and out. Right, we've cleaned up that corner there. Got the blaster on that. And it's solid. It's not gone through. Just pitting. So just red oxide for now. We'll be re-blasting and putting a special undercoat on this. But this is just to keep it from flash rusting. Everything will be coming off again. But that's just to hold it for now. So wish me luck, guys. I'm going in. This is the wheel tub. We know we'll have the lower corner of the tub damaged, that the little tail end of it. But let's just see how damaged the tub is. Will it survive? Will it be clean? It's caked on. Wish me luck, because this ain't going to be good fun. The spatula's ready, so's the heat gun. We've got a scrape. Let's have a look. Let's see how long it takes. I reckon it'll take an hour. Let's just see. I'll catch you back here in an hour and we'll see. There's no point in videoing it. We're just scraping. It's horrible. I've got a mask on for this, just because it's a bit more confined and fumes might kick up. So I've got the mask on, and we're scraping on the seal wheel tub, driver's side. That's offside wheel tub. Investigation. Let's see how good it is. Catch you back when it's all off. Oh. 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 Whew. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so yeah, about an hour. But I've not done the upper side yet, because I'm going to spin the car to get easier access to that. But what we're looking at, pretty good. The areas which I expected to have gone, this troublesome tail area there, survived. It's going to need a light shot blast though. There's some surface rust, but it's not gone through. It's looking solid. So a good wheel tub there. So there's another bonus. And even on them wing runners, we're okay. Showing the original quarter panels as well. So great. Obviously we lost it this end, as you can see. Shot blaster goes in there. We cut. We get a new tail piece. Get the hole in it. Put a new tail piece in there, and then we get a new piece in there when the sill's off. That's nothing really. That's pretty easy to do. So good stuff. An hour in of scraping, so probably total job's about 2 hours altogether if you want to include the whole tub, of course. So I've just got that half, but we know it's a good tub, so we're done. We're done on that. We're good on that, and we're looking good. So no big blows except the sills, really. I'm just going to stick some paint on that just until the shot blaster comes back over it, just to hold it off over the weekend. Over and out for this section now. We'll catch up soon.